This is the Moon Tower Podcast with your host, Ian Hubbard. Alrighty, folks, we're here at the third episode of the Moon Tower Podcast. This is your host, Ian Hubbard, my trusty sidekick, Nate Fitch, over here. Say hi to the folks at home, Nate.
Yellow.
Hopefully you can hear him a little bit better. We've had some requests after the last couple episodes that Nate should be mic'd, but since we are only using one mic for the time being, we're trying a little different setup here. So hopefully you folks at home can hear him a little bit better once you listen. Give this a listen.
Give us your monies and I'll get better equipment, maybe?
Yes, give us money. GoFundMe, Kickstarter. Someone else has got to do it. I don't really feel like doing it right now.
No, I'll get that equipment eventually. I'm just
No,
right now.
Nate, we need people to just give us money. That's the
it.
point.
I mean, hey, man, if you want to give us money, give us money.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, we can transcribe this whole thing as like a charity, so that way you can give us money and it'll be tax write-off. Everyone wins.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. First of all, just want to say thank you to everyone that's been listening. It's been fun so far. I'd like to keep it going, just to see where this goes. I will say we do have the Twitter link up and running. We have SoundCloud up and running, obviously, YouTube, obviously, as well as Instagram, Moon Tower 2018, or just Moon Tower Podcast if you want to search and give us a like, and we'll have more propaganda up there, more pictures and links and goofy shit and whatnot.
Fun stuff for your eyeballs.
Yes.
And earballs.
Many distraction from serious content. Just to give you a quick heads up, if any of you are curious, we do usually post the SoundCloud link on Thursday or Friday, depending on our work schedules. We do try to have lives outside of this, somewhat, but the reason, if anyone's been curious, main reason the YouTube link has not appeared until the weekend is because Nate, being our technical advisor, works the weekends. Usually works in a kitchen. You want to plug your work, Nate? Want to give your work a plug?
Yeah, I work at the Renaissance Hotel in the Heights, the highest bar in the city.
The highest bar in Toledo.
With the highest cooks in the city.
No. Yeah, Renaissance, they have the big rooftop bar. It's actually pretty nice. If you get the chance, go out there, give it a try. But no. Thanks for sticking with us. Got an interesting episode coming up for you. Would like to touch up on a little bit more news I've been reading up on for the Toledo area, mainly, as opposed to just national news. Also, got some football. Want to talk about some football, Nate?
Hug it, chug it, football.
Football, zip pigskin. Now, I have to admit that, with football season in full swing now, that I catch myself not reminiscing because I played in high school. Middle school and high school, and I wanted to be a football coach. When I grow up, I wanted to be a football coach. I have my own playbook and everything. I can probably still draw plays and shit, and just show you different formations. I wanted to be an offensive coordinator, and it's just funny because I was so gung ho about it for the longest time, and now not so anymore. I probably haven't seen a whole game, and actually the last football game I watched front to back was the Super Bowl 2 Super Bowls ago when the Falcons blew it against the Patriots. But up until, it's just kind of funny because I found this YouTube link. It's called Our Honor Defend. Yeah, corny as shit. And all it is clips from classic Buckeye games. And if you know me, I was giant fucking Ohio State fan for the longest time. And then after playing on the worst team in Division One Ohio football in high school, it kind of just like took the fucking wind out of me, and I didn't want to do it anymore. It was just a quick fall, quick spiral. But now that it's back in season, we've been following the home University Academic College of the Fighting Angry Goats, and guess what, Nate? 2-0.
Aw, hell no.
2-0. You believe that? Inaugural season won their first 2 games in a bullish fashion. Last week we talked about the Cuyahoga Farfanugans. Had one run of 25 yards, the longest play from scrimmage for the Farfanugans. The 23-19 victory was a hard-fought defensive game. Cuyahoga was able to keep it close, forcing 2 turnovers. One, an early interception by linebacker J.J. Jingle Schmidt, as quarterback Jimmy Doppelganger was being chased out of the pocket on a 3rd down play. Doppelganger did rebound, leading the Goats to consecutive scoring drives in the second quarter, capped off with a 14-yard touchdown run by running back Huda Helizat, his first of the year, and a 39-yard field goal by place kicker Phil Dawson, also his first of the year. The Farfanugans rallied to take a 13-10 halftime lead on a 46-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Bruce McGoulahan to wide receiver Bill Bowe on a 2nd down play-action pass. Unfortunately, they were unable to convert the point-after attempt as the snap sailed over the placeholder's head, and in the ensuing melee, he was trampled over and never seen again. The third quarter was a dead heat between the teams. Both offenses traded 3 and outs, and each defense traded blows to the head. The fourth quarter turned up the heat as the Goats decided to play some offense. On one particular series, quarterback Doppelganger threw a 32-yard touchdown pass to wideout Alex Murphy, the hero from last week. The play was then negated on a holding call. Next play, Doppelganger broke the pocket after protection failed, which is how he became a father. He then threw a wild off-foot pass into the back of the end zone where it was intercepted by cornerback Baba Booey. It was then called for pass interference, setting up a 1st and goal for the Goats, where on the next play, Doppelganger hooked up with receiver Wayne Lafayette to put the Goats up 17-13. On the ensuing kickoff, Farfanugan return man Jimmy Two Toes fumbled the kickoff inside their own 20-yard line, and the Goats recovered. The next play was a halfback toss pass from Huda Helizat to Alex Murphy for an easy touchdown. The point after try failed. The Goats were then up 23-13. The Farfanugans put up a wild, radical rally in the late fourth quarter, got a touchdown out of it, but it was at the end of the game, and they decided to just walk off the field in defeat. What a way to break that, fellas. I would say that's a hell of a game. The Goats are now 2-0, looking at their next contestant, which will be in 2 weeks. They have the bye this week, much needed. And as far as player statistics for the Goats, quarterback Jimmy Doppelganger led the way with 19 of 30 passing for 212 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. As a team, the Goats ran for a total of 163 yards, with Huda Helizat leading the way with 110 yards on 22 carries, the 1 touchdown, and the other coming from that halfback pass. Alex Murphy led the way receiving with 8 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. And Wayne Lafayette with 6 catches, 76 yards, and 1 touchdown. For the Farfanugans, quarterback Danny Juice led the way for 16 out of 29 for 190, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And the duo of John Cackball Bandy, even though they struggled on the ground with 136 combined yards, did score all 3 touchdowns. Defensively for the Goats, Dick Jones led the way with 16 tackles, 1 sack. And free safety John Jay had 7 tackles and 2 caused fumbles. For the Farfs, we had Willie Nilly with 12 tackles and 2 for loss at the linebacker. As we said before, the Goats do have a bye week coming up. They also do not have any clue whatsoever who their next opponent will be. Usually in this league, contests are drawn in the off-season via matches of tic-tac-toe, thumb war, and arm wrestling. These highly disputed series of matches are set in the basement of the coach with the losing record from the prior season, and each feature a 3-person team from the team's co-ed, gender-neutral, pansexual, all-vegan, speed-addicted cheerleading squad. For any of those interested in watching any of these games, broadcasting for the league's games are featured on Home and Garden, TLC, CNC, Telemundo, and the Fuzzy channels. Yes, you remember 75, 90, 102, and the like. With the Fighting Angry Goats being featured specifically on the Bravo channel. That's it for your update on the HUAC Fighting Angry Goats. They are officially 2-0, looking to continue their successful streak in their inaugural season. Up next, we will have a clip from Coach Brett Stinkfister and his post-game analysis, and we're looking forward to hearing from that. All right, we're here with Coach Brett Stinkfister after another successful game. Coach, 23-19, another hard-fought win, another tough opponent. How you feeling about this team? They're looking tough.
Well, just pretty proud of how the team's going, and played real tough, and this game just tackled good and played good, and ran the ball good, and had a couple turnovers and whatnot, but we fought through. Far from Eagles, they're a tough team. We had to be tougher, play the whole quarters. That's what we play. But pretty proud of them. Strength conditioning, really brought the best of the team out, and really proud of them. Looking for this. So it's all good.
Well, Coach, you got a week bye this coming week. Got anything planned as far as strength conditioning? Anything you want to work on as far as the offensive line, defensive line? Any packages you want to try to implement to try to get some more points on the board?
Well, we just gotta keep playing the game. Just keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully we'll turn out. Just gotta keep tackling good, and running good, and running the ball good. And Jimmy had one interception, but hopefully it doesn't happen anymore. We can't have that. Can't have turnovers. Can't win in this league with turnovers. Just gotta keep playing good and play off our quarters, and just gotta keep going at it. This bye week's gonna give us an opportunity to just really short things up, and hopefully we'll be able to come out and week after and be strong and just play good.
Wow, Coach. No, that's really all we need to know. You summed it up once again with your very astute words. We're looking forward to seeing you guys in Week 4 with your third game. Any idea who you're going to be playing? It's kind of a crapshoot right now.
Well, whoever it's going to be, it's hopefully we'll just play them good. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be another tough team, and just going to play whoever it is. It's going to be all right, and hopefully we'll be all right. And regardless of what happens, we'll come out as a team, and hopefully we'll come out with W.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time. Let's let you get back to the team after another hard-fought win. Good luck to you, Coach.
All right, and appreciate it, and God bless, and we'll see you soon.
All right, Coach Brett Stinkfister with another stoic post-game analysis. We're definitely going to be looking forward to what they got coming up. We're going to take a little break here for some spuds, and suds, some potatoes. Maybe, I'll take one there, Clark McGlark. And spuds, I meant to say ads and sponsorships, but get a little tongue twisted. You know how it is, Nate.
And from what I collect, we are actually sponsored by potatoes.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break here. Let you catch up to who's funding this operation, and we'll be back with a breakdown of, get you introduced to the starting lineup for the Goats and their coaching staff after this.
We're funny. Funny!
This podcast is sponsored by Mama's Steakhouse.
You'll get what you get, and you'll like it!
This podcast is also brought to you by Two Udders Milk Farm. Do unto others as others have done unto you. The Moon Tower Podcast is also brought to you by Race for the Cure. Thanks for the memories. And now, a moment with Nate.
When you're going to the bathroom, make sure you don't take a piss or take a shit. Leave it there in the toilet.
All right, folks, we are back with the Moon Tower Podcast. Your host, Ian Hubbard, here. My technical advisor, Nate Fitch, is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. How you doing, buddy?
Where does the skin on teeth begin and where does it end?
I never understood that term, that phrase, however you want to put it. I never did. Stuff like that, like those old people terms, beyond me. It goes over my head.
It's not right.
I got a big fucking head. All right, folks. Like we said before, we want to introduce you to the starting lineup and the coaching staff of the Home University Academic College Fighting Angry Goats. We like to start with the coaching staff. At head coach, we have Brett Stinkfister. Mr. Stinkfister comes from Ohio. He was an interim coach under Jim Tressel at both Youngstown and Ohio State, as we specified in the first podcast. He's been around the ranks, both high school and college, and they picked him out. He was the first choice. No previous head coaching experience, but he's been around. He knows the game. He knows the system. So they have a lot of faith in him so far. And so far, he's delivered. Would you say, Nate?
I'd say, got two good games under their belt. So far, it's very successful. Can't complain.
Very successful. 2-0 against two tough opponents. Unfortunately, the Angry Goats do have a very short staff. According to rules and regulations, teams in their inaugural season are only allowed up to 5 coaches due to budgetary restraints. Now, the Angry Goats would have more than 5 coaching positions filled, but the rest would have to work for free. And as we all know, you don't work for free. Am I right?
You don't.
Can I get some feedback? I feel like
Unless you're,
it's like one hand clapping here. Clark McGlark, you want to fucking chime in with some shit?
Well, I've heard you get money for nothing and chicks for free, but you don't ever work for free.
You want to do me a favor and just step outside and stay there?
All right.
We let you in the building anyway.
Yeah.
Check this out. This picture, Nate looks like he's jerking off that dick. Ha.
Yeah. That'll be on the Instagram. And actually, that
He's
might
got his fingers out like he's doing it with finesse.
that might have to
I'm
be on the Twitters
caressing
too.
that very nice Peter.
Peter. But no, so we'll get to the rest of the coaching staff here. Do it real quick. Offensive coordinator, we have Wally Astoria from West Virginia. Strength and conditioning, we just have a man named Duke. That's his name. That's all they gave me. Special teams, Billy McNilly. Can't say too much about him. That's his first job ever. And as defensive coordinator, we have a man they call Timmy. Also, no previous coaching experience, but according to the sources related to HUAC, they found him outside of Denny's screaming at customers and enjoyed his vigor. So they hired him. So that's it for the coaching staff. Let's get to the starting lineup. At offense, we have Jimmy Doppelganger, the hero in Week 1, out of Wisconsin. At running back, we have Huda Helizet, the transfer from LSU. At wide receiver, we have Alex Murphy from Michigan. At wide receiver, also, we have Wayne Lafayette from California. Also at third wide receiver, we have Harrison Dougal-Dangle from Wisconsin. At center, we have Charles H. Hungadunga from West Virginia. At right guard, we have Jack Meehoff from Nevada. At left guard, we have Chuck Stake from Oklahoma. At right tackle, we have Mark Brown from Ohio. And at left tackle, we have Dale, the Whale, McFarland from Pennsylvania. Yes, two-man, tough-man competition winner. And at tight end, we have Graham Cracker, an unknown from the Midwest. Starting defense, linebacker Dick Jones, the main stud in the first 2 weeks with a combined 32 tackles.
Love that dick.
Yes, we do. At strong safety, we have DJ Peckerwood, the outstanding middleman from Nate, can you tell me?
Iowa.
Mishawaka? You said Iowa,
He's
Clark?
from Iowa.
He's from Iowa?
Yeah, for sure.
You're both wrong. He's from Arizona.
Nah.
Dag, yo.
I gotta read up on my baseball stats.
This is football.
They call it soccer in the UK.
This is America.
Amen.
As starting linebacker, we also have Rock Hardbody from Texas, followed by linebacker Larry McNary from Florida. Defensive tackle, we have Van by the River from South Carolina. Thank God he got out of there in time. Other defensive tackle, we have Stu Boo Hoo from West Virginia. Defensive end, Marion Morrison from Nevada. Defensive end, Jean-Luc Van Johnson, Esquire IV from Oklahoma. Cornerback, Ricky Rax from North Dakota. Also at cornerback, we have Chase Yabuti from South Dakota. Free safety, John Diss from Kansas. Special teams place kicker, we have Phil Dawson from Ohio, and punter Reggie Pear from Kansas. And that, folks, rounds out the top 24 starters for your HUAC Fighting Angry Goats. Just wanted to make sure that you are all clear so that you can follow the team throughout the preceding season.
Can we get a Angry Goats fight yell?
I got it right here. Their mascot, Billy. Want to hear Billy?
Yeah.
Let me get a drum roll. And that, folks, is your HUAC Fighting Angry Goats. Coming up next, we're going to have a little bit of news for you and get some actual conversation. Hopefully you're not too bored or want to put a bullet in your eye. So coming up next, we'll get to some serious stuff. Coming back with the Moon Tower Podcast.
Suicide is not a joke.
It can
Listen.
be funny, though.
I know people that commit suicide all the time.
You don't
They
have
do
too
not
many.
think it's funny.
You don't have too many friends, though.
They're
do you?
dead.
Wow, way to bring the party down, Clark. I thought I told you to leave.
A secret agent's life is a tough one. It's worse than a dentist. Like, they don't tell you that.
Hey, well,
man,
you know what?
I let you in the building because I felt sorry for
Calm
you.
down.
Now I know
Operatives
you're
are
Calm
offing
down.
themselves
Calm
all
down,
the
or I'm gonna
time.
put the cigarette in your forehead.
Light it first. And then
Hey,
give it to me.
you got it
Because
there.
I'm ready for some nicotine. Because I want to die too.
Yeah. All right, folks. Come back. We'll get you some news. Moon Tower Podcast.
Or a noose. Get it? All right. Moon Tower.
All right, folks. We're back with a new edition of the third episode of the Moon Tower Podcast. Ian Hubbard, your host. Hopefully, you guys are still with us. Like to thank you for sticking with us once again. Now, this next bit that we would like to do, we kind of introduced it last week, talking about local news as far as the Toledo area and kind of glancing outside to the national news, what's going on in the country and whatnot. And right now, we just kind of like to take... What? Is that... Oh, fuck.
He's back.
Is that fucking Clark McGlark douche?
Yeah.
Really? Go away.
I threw away your Subway.
Yeah. Good job, Clark. He's not going
Eat
away.
lunch now.
Nate, can you let the fucking just let him back in? All right, yeah. Just letting you back in. Letting you back. Okay. Great.
Well, thanks, guys, for welcoming me back to the podcast.
Yeah, not a
Clark
problem.
McGlark here.
Not a problem. Glad you could rejoin us for duty.
I'd like to apologize for the last segment.
No, there's no need to apologize.
I've offended anyone who's had to deal with suicide
Shut
or
up.
depression, and
All right.
I'd like
All
to
right.
just cut that short
All
right now. I'd
shut
like
up.
to say
You can cut it
I'm
short
sorry.
by shutting the hell up.
I'm sorry.
All right. Some scary news going around Toledo, Lucas County, fellas. Did you hear about this? County has first human West Nile case in 2018.
Hot damn.
You guys scared?
Well, I mean, what I want to know is why would you call west now when it's out here?
Well, thank God it's like fall. Mosquitoes are going to be extinct soon.
Oh, for the season. Says
They rise again.
Lay dormant
they didn't
until spring of
they didn't-
2019.
they didn't say who, they didn't say when, they didn't say where. But first reported case. Two. It's so severe. This is how severe it is in Lucas County. 2 human West Nile virus cases were reported in 2017, and none in 2016.
Cut it out.
I feel the same way. Also, one of the things that is big in Toledo is the boozing. So, according to the city paper, they've released their new beer guide for the fall, interviewing a lot of local breweries and bartenders and whatnot. So, anybody got any good bar stories that we want to share with the audience? We're just going to skip the news. Fuck the news. So, I think everyone's had their fair share. I think everyone would much rather hear some good stories. So, I'll leave it to the panel to start off, and then we'll chime in and see where this goes. All right, fellas, take it away.
Over the weekend, I had a going away party for one of my employees, and ended up one of my dudes, Charles, stood up on a chair and fell and split his lip open, broke a couple glasses, and then I had to take my boy Miguel home, dropped him off at the 7-Eleven, and apparently he got lost for a good 3 hours after that somehow when he was about half a mile from home.
Sounds like a party.
It was.
Was it the night that I came over to your place for a bit and then...
No, it was this previous Sunday.
Gotcha.
For those listening at home, Clark McGlark and Nate are mutual lovers.
Oh, yeah. Long time.
There's nothing mutual about it. Just love.
Yeah, I love him and he loves someone else, but I'm trying.
Isn't that the way it works, though?
Love giveth,
Say
and
la
love taketh
vie.
away.
Say love thee.
Hell yeah. I got stabbed at a bar once.
Was that the same night you got punched in the face?
Yes, it was.
Same guy?
Yeah.
You want to share it with us, Clark?
Why not? It was about bar clothes. You know, we were hanging out outside, having our cigarettes and whatnot. Group of friends and people I work with. A guy I work with was yelling at this friend that he recognized hanging out the truck window. But the people with that guy thought he was just yelling at them for whatever reason. And I was mistaken for the person yelling, and this lady, this drunk woman, just came running at me, like throwing her arms in like a windmill fashion. And like she was very drunk. It wasn't a good form to her sprint toward me. It was like wobbly and almost like she was trying to kiss her knees. Like she was like down and just swinging. Well, she ran into me and fell backwards. That was funny. I was like, oh, well, that's happening. And I'm drunk. I'm not in the mood for any of this. Plus, it's mistaken identity, so to speak. Well, she falls backwards, and her boyfriend, I guess, sees this as me pushing her down. So this guy hops out the truck and starts running toward me. And I'm just like, I want to go home. This isn't the night that I planned. Like I was gonna go hang out with my friends afterwards. Like we were talking about this and everything. Like it was gonna be a good night. And I'm involved in this like horrible bar fight, misunderstanding thing. This guy runs up and swings on me. Smacks me like right across the eye. At the same time, I'm still trying to process what's going on, and I feel like this pain in my chest. I looked down over by, you know, where the guy is like.
Did you get shivved?
I
You got prison shivved?
I got poked. I got poked by a knife.
You got poked.
Yeah, I look down and this guy's got his knife out, and I'm already bleeding, and like,
So you got grazed.
well, he got me like right below my breast, you know. I got a little scar there, little one. Like, it was a pocket knife, so I'm not in any danger. But this motherfucker like thought I was assaulting his woman or something, and he's probably drunk or on something, and just like, I need to defend this lady, and
Defend her honor.
came running up and just hit me in the face and stabbed me in the chest. Bunch of people by then separate him and I, and like, it becomes a whole thing, I guess, where, you know, all these people are like, if he did that to me, I'd beat his ass. But I'm like, he had a fucking knife. Like, I'm not gonna go to the hospital. Like, I'm probably not supposed to be where I am right now, drunk anyway, you know?
I had to go one where I got in a fist fight with one of my friends, and she was a chick. This chick, Maria, if you're listening, you know, bygones be bygones. But we were at a birthday party, and she was already blacked out, and she was one of those friends that I could call her names and whatnot, but sometimes you get carried away. You know how I am. And, words were passed, and then she came up and just socked me right in the fucking face. Like, Rocky fucking roundhouse right to the gullet.
What'd you say to her?
I called her a cunt, but she deserved it.
Well,
She was being a fucking cunt. And everyone flipped out, and I'm just standing there laughing. I'm like, I knew it was going to happen. So I go back in the bar and order another round. She comes up on me, like, trying to hug me and shit. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, just fuck off. Just fuck off right now. And I kind of, like, pushed her back, and she fucking bopped me in the forehead. And there's a walkway to the bathroom. And I come up behind her, and I just, like, poof. And she goes flying, like, smacked her face off the fucking ground, and her drink was spilling and shit. It was hilarious. She comes in like, yeah, motherfucker, and everyone gets in between. They're like, oh, and there's one dude he was just sitting there, like, none of us knew him. And he comes up, he's like 5'0", all barrel chested, like trying to act all hard and shit. And he comes up and he's like, oh, dude, you don't want to go in there, man. She's in there. You don't want to go in there. You don't want to go in there. I'm like, dude, just get the fuck out of my way, please. Like, you're already trying to be Mr. Hero. Oh, no. Oh, I'm surprised. And then fucking everything calmed down. She ended up passing out in the bushes outside the bar. But that was funny. There's also the time I got slapped by a stripper at a bar. Did I tell you about that? It was actually at after party at a house because we closed the bar down. And me and my dude, Vic, we went over, and there's these two chicks who were obviously strippers. You could smell it. They smell, like, you could smell the fucking lotion and talcum powder and the years of daddy issues. And
so you weren't at the strip club, you were at just a regular
bar? No, they were there after their shift. And then they knew a dude that was there, and he got everyone to come back to his place.
Were they hot?
No, not even under the neons. Like, they were like a 6
AM crowd.
They were a 6 in Midwest terms. So that's still like, yeah, that's like a 3.5-ish on the coast.
Sounds like my ex-girlfriend, am I right?
Hey.
All right.
But they start dancing in the middle of the kitchen at this fucking house party. And
It was a house party?
yeah, the dude fucking just brought the bar back to his house. It was like, oh, fucking, I got a fridge full of shit, have at it. I got a cabinet, have at it. Fucking everyone party, blah, blah, blah.
Where was this?
It was over by campus. But it wasn't like college people. It was all like barflies and shit.
Yeah.
A lot of lot of silver hair. But these two chicks, they're fucking dancing, and people were like tossing them ones and shit. So I'm like, oh, but they're not stripping. You know, they're off the clock.
They recognize him though.
Yeah, they're off the clock, so they're not gonna fucking put out. So I just went up to one. I was like, you know, we'll see the goods. You know, I'm fucking half cocked, and I don't give a shit. I don't know these people. I don't care. She's like, no. So I just fucking took like a handful of ones, just stuck them right down her shirt, and I'm like, here, take that home with you, honey. And she was like, what? And she didn't even like slap me. She just gave me a little love tap. She was just like, it was a little like right across the cheek. I'm like, and she like did one of those things. She was like,
Unbeknownst to you, it wasn't the stripper that you shoved dollars down her shirt. It was just some other lady that was with him.
no, it was her. It was her. And her friend called me an asshole and shit. And she like they did the whole like cocked their heads and walked away. But there's that. There's I've been nearly hit by a car several times. Coming out of a watering hole. The best was at this place called the Tribes Tavern up on Alexis, and walked in, and I don't really remember being there. We were there for like an hour and a half, and it was all sloshed out, and fucking walked out in the 4-lane traffic at like midnight, and they're like, what the fuck you doing? And everyone's standing there. I'm like, what? What's the bright lights?
This is me. What do you want?
It happens, but those are funny bar stories. But it's just always funny because of the city paper and whatnot. And they got this whole thing in the Blade.
Now you're a sex offender.
No, there was a guy that fucking would go up to Papa Joe's all the time. That was a sex offender.
Papa Joe's?
Yeah, up in Monroe.
I'm not familiar with it.
It was like the hot spot for a minute. There's a dude, I'm not gonna say his name, but he'd go up there and be like the nicest guy. You know, he'd sit there and order his double wild turkeys and just get slammed. Like, talk to him about anything. Real nice guy. And then I'm hanging out in my apartment one day, and my roommate comes in with her friend. They're fucking half cocked. And they're like, yeah, so-and-so's up there, and just found out he's a fucking sex offender. He's registered. I'm like, what? You know, like the nice guy that you talk to and shit. And pulled him up on the fucking watchdog site, and he's there, fucking misconduct with underage. Apparently through the grapevine, the rumor is that he started getting all freaky deaky with a 16-year-old at a club. It was just there and fucking tried to take her back to his place and shit and all this other fucking nut shit. I'm like, what?
But what was she wearing?
Oh, like you're gonna do that?
My dad said that the other day.
I'm assuming she was wearing clothes, but he did not want her to wear clothes, which is unfortunate for her.
That's what makes the happenstance right
But
Doesn't that bother you? Like people that are like, well, she was wearing a tight outfit, so fucking she wanted to be
I'm always wearing a
raped.
tight outfit. I
Yeah.
don't get any.
yeah, I wear boxer briefs. No one looks at that.
Now I'm on a list.
Yeah, just take a peek, please. Just give me like 5 minutes of your time.
Here, have a handful of ones.
Yeah, but no, this is funny because like I was saying in the city paper, they advertise like it's called the beer guide for the fall, and they go around to like all the regional breweries and shit, and talk to the bartenders about, you know, what got you into bartending, and you know, what's your favorite beer, and what's your favorite pairing, and all that fun, cool stuff for the family. But they never like go to like a dive bar at like 1 a.m.
That's the true experience, right?
You know, they don't do any after hours journalism.
Like a place that you wouldn't know is a bar until you're inside of it.
Yeah, it's literally like you're just standing in a toilet. But well, they need to do that.
Like, when did this toilet start serving beer?
Yeah.
Shit.
This is giving the
I'm
piss.
taking a piss again.
No, I'm giving the
Leave it.
piss.
Leave it.
But you gotta leave it. You gotta leave it, folks. If you do anything, you gotta leave it. But No, that was that. There was. See, the worst part is you can't unless there's like something that really sticks out, like a fight. Like there's been times I've seen like bartender like haul the dude out by his fucking collar and slam his head in the door and people cheering and shit like that. But unless there's like blood drawn, you can't really remember it.
It's not worth talking about.
Well, it's just like I know shit that like that has happened. I just can't remember it, and I need like 5 other people to corroborate the story.
No, I get it. I've been to bars that, like, people have died at, and there's been, like, all-out brawls with pool cues and shit like that. You know, like, straight-up movie stuff. Not while I was there, but I've heard stories, you know. Especially that, the bar actually, the bar I got stabbed outside of, the one next door, it's called, Center Court.
Mm-hmm.
Someone actually died at that bar. Like, got jumped and murdered. Just, you know.
Is it still open?
Yeah, it's still open.
Do they have like the site where the body was found all marked off and shit?
Yeah, it's in a chalk line.
They have a permanent chalk line?
No, they don't. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I was there last week. It's not there.
It's, the rain.
It's been washed off.
The rain washed it away.
Right. But yeah, like, violent crime happens even where I live and close to it, you know?
There was there was one thing. No, some of the best bar stories I have are at drag bars.
Never
It is
been.
so.
I heard it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, especially when you get a bunch of drag queens that are catty with each other. That is.
Oh no, bitch! I'm the queen here.
That's the fucking best, dude. There's this place. Did you ever hear about the Madison Bistro?
No.
It's like was right down the street. It was just like a little hole in the wall. During the day, they would have the best fucking bacon cheeseburger sandwiches.
Oh. That sounds pretty
And
good.
like cheap ass beer and drinks and shit. But
Sign me the fuck up.
yeah, at night, especially on the weekends, they have fucking drag shows. And the walkway to the bathroom, it's just like a restaurant type place, like area. They would have it, they wouldn't even have it curtained off. It was just like a big fucking bed sheet that they had strung up like wall to wall where all the fucking performers and shit would get dressed and changed and shit. And you'd hear them fucking bitching at each other, like
Can you give us a
throwing shade.
demonstration, like an example?
Fuck. That bitch don't know what the fuck she talking about. She know I'm the queen. She know I fucking run. I run that place. That's my place. She trying to get my crown. She ain't gonna get my motherfucking crown. And I'm just like standing there like,
Oh Lord.
oh, this is all like white dudes too. That's the best part.
Oh yeah.
Throwing fucking hella shade. It was hilarious. Like, oh, that bitch don't know what she got coming. That bitch don't know what she got coming. Some big, bulky motherfucker with a beard. And I'd be standing there so
Fucking
many
A.
times having a fucking rock a piss. And just laughing my ass off the whole fucking time. It's hilarious. I miss that place. I miss that place so much because it was crowded. It was a small venue to begin with. Like, it was like the size of this room. Like the front area, basically. So it would be like fucking wicked crowded and people just going nuts. And everyone's just like, it's kind of funny, like watching people who are associated with a certain performer watch other performers who are supposed to be like the up and comer or the one that's supposed to like vie for the competition. They'd be just standing there like just like with the fucking most harsh judgmental looks on their face, just like standing there like, no, nah, bitch, no, just like, what?
You ain't taking this crown, honey.
And it's so fucking funny because like for that 1 week, for Pride Week, they just all buddy up and like everything's cool. Like put aside their fucking
But show day?
Yeah, show day, it's like fucking Jets and Sharks, dude. Straight up, like, you expect one of these bitches to fucking throw out a fucking 6-inch blade at some point.
I got your 6-inch blade.
Literally. I think there was one night.
Assisted?
There was one night I ended up making out with one of the fucking performers.
The one with the beard.
No, it was this older black dude. He was all dolled up and shit. And I was just like, fuck it, come here. Like right out there on the sidewalk, and all my friends were like, dude, what the fuck you doing? I'm like, what?
She's hot.
Yeah. I didn't even say that. I'm just like, I just think it's funny.
And soft lips and long hair. You didn't have done it.
Straight up, dude. That dude looked cute as shit. Straight up. You ever, if you ever go to a drag show, don't heckle. They do not appreciate hecklers.
Yeah.
Just enjoy yourself.
I don't think I would. Like, I don't think I'd heckle if I went to any type of
I saw-
professional show of any type.
There was a
Other
one.
than a concert. But you don't heckle. You kind of like, you know,
You jeer.
you jeer, sure.
Hey, if you're gonna be a heckler, you gotta get ready for the cock. I mean, coke. Cock.
I saw one. It was a chick heckling like some of the dancers. Like you could tell like during the performance, like they're up there like lip syncing the tune and like doing their dance moves and shit. And this one bitch was all fucking drunk and getting mouthy. She's like, it was. I was never forget it because there was an older guy doing a performance. Forget who it was. And you just hear this bitch go, man, that bitch looks saggy as fuck. Old wrinkly ass trying to get up there and dance and shake her shit, bitch. You ain't got nothing.
They are ruthless.
Ruthless, dude.
Like, I can see that. Like, I've never been to a show like you have, but I've like seen those kind of people like doing it, even a little bit. Like I can tell, like they are fucking ruthless.
Well, the best part is that this bitch did not know that the dancer she was heckling or the performer she was heckling was the MC. So he stopped right in the middle of his performance, doing Reba McEntire for 800th time, and just stopped the performance. Was like, somebody get that bitch the fuck out of here before I grab her weave. It was like, I'm like, we're about to see some shit. About to see a prison riot. Let's see some shit go down. He's like, get that bitch the fuck out of here before I handle her. And the bodyguard, the bouncer it was one chick and one dude bouncer, fucking just walked to this chick and say, I don't know what the fuck you all trying to get me out of here for. I'm paying for this shit. They're like, you gotta leave, man. He's like, I ain't going no fucking where. And the chick grabbed her like by the back of the collar, like some high school principal was like, you need to come with me, and like shoved her out the door. It was fucking wild.
Everybody cheered.
Everyone cheered. It was like, yeah. And the MC just got back and was like, all right, now that the bitch is gone, we can start the show again. Hit it, and then right in the middle of the fucking song.
Hell yeah.
right where he dropped off. I was like, that's show business. That's entertainment.
Show enough.
Sounds a lot of fun.
It is. Highly recommended.
Yeah. I went to Pride like last year. That was a lot of fun. You know, there was
It's a good time.
that whole stage and by Brett's. I think Brett's is closed now, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a lot of people having a good time. Like the best time. Like you've never seen anybody party harder than these people at Pride.
They know how to party.
They really do.
They really do. That's why I can't fucking hate on them.
WK at Pride? That would be partying hard at Pride.
Get whiplash. Get whiplash from a drag show.
Drinking pineapple fucking craft beer because it's all they have. Because of course it's what they are drinking there.
Yeah.
Summer.
It's all sweet. Fruits. Some pineapples. It's always like apple flavored shit too.
It's good, though.
It's like apple,
It's good,
cherry, and pineapple.
It fit the mood. It was good. The only time I've been like downtown at a massive party like that was Zombie Crawl.
You ever been to fucking Athens for Halloween?
No,
Athens or higher?
no. Matter of fact, this coming up Halloween, I'm not going to be doing anything. Like, we're going to Columbus for a wedding.
Well, that's lame.
Yeah.
Is that another undercover mission for you, Clark?
I can neither confirm nor deny what's going on in Columbus, other than it's a wedding.
Any of you in the Columbus area, he will be in civilian clothes. So keep an eye out for that. He's a schemy little fucker. No, I have not been to Mardi Gras, but Athens and during Halloween is something that I would assume is close to it. Like, they don't have like the giant floats and all the other crazy shit that goes with it, but it's
Very narrow streets.
fucking 40,000 people packed into a 6 square mile area, or however fucking big it is. It's not that big.
You've gone to Zombie Crawl, I assume.
Dude, this blows Zombie Crawl out of the fucking water.
That's probably the extent of a celebration I've seen when it comes to the city.
I was gonna say, dude, like, people.
Still shoulder to shoulder. Like, you gotta fight your way to find your friends. Especially
Oh,
if you got
dude,
there
it was like that. It was like that in Athens, but like, there's people up on the balconies, like, there's chicks throwing their titties around. Fucking people were just loaded out of their minds, like, walking. Me and my other friend Ian. I met up with them because he was in a band that were playing, and I was going down there, so I wanted to hang out with them. I didn't really give two shits about the actual party. We ended up like walking in and out of like 4 different house parties because it was just lined up down the block. Just every house had their fucking back door open for some reason, and just walking in, raiding the fridge, and leaving. We got caught one time. This one chick's like, "Who are you?" I'm like, I try to pull a Ricky. I'm like, "You know Tiffany or Brandon or whoever?" Like, "No, there's no one here like that." I'm like, I'm there. I'm leaving. Bye."
Didn't work, huh?
No, well, I did get a fucking jacket full of beer from the fridge, so.
And a pocket full of shells.
Well, actually,
You could be an honorary secret agent.
one of the fuck.
They were still committing to that character, I guess.
After I saw one of the dudes get booted in the face by a horse, at the end of the night, they brought in fucking mounted cops on horseback
No shit.
to, like, clear out the fucking streets and get people inside and shit.
Wow.
And me and a couple other people were standing out on the lawn of this house because we were waiting for a cab to come by. And this dude is shit housed comes walking up to the fucking cop on horseback, talking about like, "Oh, what's up, Mr. Ed?" Like taunting the horse, and the horse just like reared back and like booted him. Not like he gave him a good kick, like he fucking like fell back. It got him. It got him almost in his collarbone. It got him in his shoulder, and he like launched back, and the cops like jumped. One cop jumped off his horse, and started wrestling with him in the yard. And dude's like, "Dude, what the fuck, man? I was just trying to pet the fuck. What the fuck?" And like, "Get the fuck out of here, you fucking piece of shit." Or it's like, "Oh shit, man, they actually do this shit down here."
So you're a football fan, right?
I was
Until when?
a long time ago. I thought I told you all this shit.
Have you been in Columbus on game day?
Not on game day. I've been on the field.
You
for
were
LSU.
you were talking about Athens and like open door parties and shit.
Yeah, I've heard Columbus is pretty gnarly when it comes to game day too.
So we have, or had at least, friends that lived on campus in like the dorms and shit. We would stay the night there, and one of these times, I think it was against Wisconsin or something, we were going to see a game and walking to the stadium, just like bedlam, absolute bedlam in the streets, and these fucking like houses lined with people, like just almost cartoonishly.
That's what I've heard.
So many fucking people, like, and like their parents too, like in town, just because my kid's going to Ohio State University, I'm gonna come visit him for game day.
And the parents' party was
just-
too.
get more drunk than they do.
Yeah.
And, like, we were, like, being, like, coaxed into coming and hanging out with these people. Like we had we want to go see the game. We want to get good seats. We had, it's just nuts. Like, every single house was open doors and fucking people spilling out of it. I think the first time I went to Columbus, I don't know if it was a game day, but I saw this one homeless dude just kind of walking, right? And I was like, all right, yeah, that's a homeless guy, whatever. He just has his dick out, and he's walking, and he just starts pissing in a, like, straight line while he's walking. Like, he could have passed a sobriety test. He's just walking in a straight line, pissing just all along the side of this yard.
Did he get any on him?
I don't know. I was just like, oh, Columbus. This is my first time in Columbus. Like, it's cool. This is campus and everything. Oh, yeah, whatever. And there's just a homeless guy with his dick out, just, like, walking in a straight line, pissing in a fucking yard.
One in Columbus. He was a homeless dude.
So I did the same thing. I got out of the car, I stood next to him, and I got like a can, like I grabbed my arm around his shoulder, and like we did like a piss kick kind of thing.
Did you guys cross swords?
Never crossed swords.
Did you cross peace streams?
But we might have crossed streams. Just because of the motion of a kick, you know what I mean?
Good job, Venkman.
Who are you gonna call?
Well, that's how you kill the Marshmallow Man. They say don't do it, but you gotta do it.
I got a good Columbus piss story. I got
Title of the podcast?
I also have a good piss story.
Let's tell your piss story, Nate.
Okay.
Because mine's gonna take a minute.
Okay, this was a while ago. I think you were actually there, Ian. Like, it was like you played a gig over at what is it, the Bronze Boar? I wanna say? Yeah. No, we're hanging.
We're doing me and my dude Jansen. We're doing fucking because we're trying to start a band, and we did a fucking open house gig. We called them up and asked if we could like bring our instruments and shit, or if it was just like acoustic shit. And they said yeah. So we get there, and I got my drum set up, and we start playing, and like halfway through the first song, the bartender's like, "You guys gotta keep it down. I can't hear what people are ordering. Can you play softer?" And we're like, "You told us that we could. This is stupid."
What were you playing?
What?
Yeah.
Just fucking like blues rock shit, and fucking yeah. She's like, "Can you guys Can you turn it down or like play softer?" I'm like, "You told us we could bring her in," so we play like 3 songs and left because she was just like, "We can't have you guys play." I'm like, "You told us whatever," but
Rocking too hard.
yeah, fucking brought the house down with all 8 people in the fucking. There's probably like 15 people in there plus the bartender.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of people. It was like like band, like me, Parker, and a couple other random hooligans. But what is it? We hung out, like, was that the patio behind that, like that gravel or whatever?
Yeah.
We were hanging out there for a while, like this one dude, and we were going back and forth, like drinking beverages. We ended up nosing over to the attic or whatever. Same dude that we were hanging out with ended up being there, and he buys us all shots of whiskey, and I swear I got like roofied or something. Because I've never been that fucked up in a long time. But the only thing I remember of that night is going to my car and really having to piss. So I just dropped trow right then and there, start pissing. It's like over by the Ottawa Tavern. And some people start seeing me like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" It's like, "Free country, man. Gonna piss here." So
I'm leaving a piss.
I finished my piss. No one bothers me after the fact. It's all good. Still feeling fucked up out of my mind. I don't know how the fuck I got home. I did. And that's about it, really. First time I've ever been roofied.
I've heard stories about people getting roofied, like around Toledo, Holland area, especially Lenny's.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I got a friend who said he was like, just got to the bar, he did like an Irish car bomb and like was drinking a Guinness or something because, you know, that's what he was into at the time or something. And he doesn't remember anything else except for him being on his floor at his apartment. So like I'm kind of skeptical. Like where is the line here? Like, are people actually getting drugged, or are people just drinking more than they remember they're drinking? Like your story. Like, do you think that you were really drugged, or do you think maybe you just...
I didn't have many drinks that night. I had like 2 or 3 beers and maybe like a shot or 2 of whiskey. Like, I was way more fucked up than, you know, what my tolerance level was usually able to handle. I don't get like fucked up very often. Like, I think in the course of hanging out with you, like, how many times have you seen me like really fucked up?
Maybe like twice. And that's at like your house.
Yeah.
That one night we stayed up till fucking sunrise drinking everything.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a reason I didn't drink Lady Bly rum for a while, because out of the 4 times I did, 3 times I ended up pissing myself. And one of them was face down in the floor, like on the carpet, just waking up in a pool.
No, thank you.
Pool of wet denim.
Another thing I'll never recommend.
Wet Denim, good name for an 80s hair metal album.
Wet denim. I like it. Never drink like a ton of Jack and Coke and then absinthe. Kind of a mistake.
I feel like anything combined with absinthe is a bad idea.
Oh yeah.
No, I did that with absinthe too.
Yeah.
I went to a couple places and went back, and it was, once again, Mr. Parker fucking had a bottle of absinthe they brought back with him from Amsterdam.
True absinthe then.
Said, apparently, I don't know, I wasn't fucking jacked up hallucinating.
It's like people say that, like, you're gonna see a green fairy and like shit like that.
Well, that you gotta, that from what I understand, like, you gotta do the whole
Bottle.
ritual and not have drank or smoked anything prior, and it's gotta be, you know.
Like, the whole effect I get from it, like, I've had absinthe on a handful of occasions, like, when I was, like, younger, like, when I hadn't, like, had, like, a whole lot of, like, booze and stuff, like, it felt like being high, like, off of, like a joint or something, and drunk at the same time. It's, like, nothing to write home about. Like, you mean, you can smoke a bowl and drink a beer and, you know, get basically the same thing.
I just really don't like the flavor of black licorice. You know, like that really fucked my whole night up. Jägermeister, like
I feel like if
I've
you
tried
set
that.
the sugar
It's fine.
cube on fire, it actually helps.
We did
with-
the whole thing. Like we
Yeah.
had the silver thing on top of the cup and like the,
did you
the
do
flame.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the
Yeah.
whole thing, and I was like, no. Just a terrible
Yeah.
flavor.
I feel it's better than just straight up water, but yeah, no.
I
Miles
love
Madera.
straight up water.
Yeah.
Podcast is brought to you by Straight Up Water. You get nothing else but the H2 and the O.
Except
It's magic.
Except I don't drink that shit because fish fucking it.
Fuck that shit.
All right. My turn with the epic Columbus piss story. And I will leave in the names because it's true and funny. So, a few years ago, for those of you listening, I went to a show in Columbus with Joe, his friend Matt, who the listeners met last week, our friend Carrie, and we were going to meet up with Matt's boss, Beansy, who looks like Sideshow Bob's rapist fucking cousin. It was a hot ass day. I think it was like the middle of August. It was like 90 some odd degrees. And we all meet up at Joe's place. And we're like, need any food? Need any water? All right, let's step at the gas station. I got like a fucking gallon jug of water. You know, it's hot as balls. I know we're going to be partying, so I might as well stay hydrated and get something to eat on the way. And we ask Carrie, like, need anything? Need anything? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So, like, all right. And we're going to get a hotel for the night in downtown Columbus. The show was at the Community Pavilion Center in downtown Columbus, or near downtown. So we get to the hotel, and we've got 230 cases of beer, one of which is gone in about 45 to 50 minutes between the 4 or 5 of us, because Beansy wasn't really drinking until we got to the show. Once again, need any food, need any water? No, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Fucking, and once again, it's been a while, so I might be leaving out some patchwork. Once again, a lot of the good stories that I have need to be corroborated by multiple sources, so I'm sure I'll hear about a few comments later, but... So we go to the show, and we fucking burned down a couple on the way. One couple there at the show, like fucking token and shit. And get in, get searched, everything's cool. And from what I remember, we had to go up a set of stairs to the main, like, walkway, or, like, area. Like, they had, like, fucking tables and shit set up, and then the stage is kind of, like, cut in, so you're, like, looking down over it. So we all take turns buying rounds for everyone, okay? Then Pussifer goes on, and Matt's like, all right, I'm going to be here. I'm going to, plant the flag at the table. He had a perfect site, too, for the show. So we all kind of, like, spread out, and we're all going to reconvene back at the table after show's over. Great show. If you fucking haven't seen Pussifer, I haven't seen him since, but they put on a great show. Show's over. Get back to the table, and this is in between us breaking up and the show going on. Me, Joe, and Carrie go outside to smoke another joint, and fucking we get separated from him. He just, like, wanders off. Okay. Show's over, and we get back to the table, and Carrie's not there. Wait a little bit. Doesn't show up. Call him, no answer. Fuck it, let's go. We're not waiting, There's no semper fi in this. You fuck up, you're on your own, Because we told him several times, like, there's this saying, like, if you do what I say when I tell you how to do it, you'll have a great time. So we're like, all right, we'll find him. No big deal, we still got time. We're going to enjoy ourselves. Go out to, like, one bar, and then we went out to a pizza place. I think it was a pizza place, bar and grill or some shit. We're sitting there eating and drinking and whatnot, and Matt is sitting there. If you never met him before, he's one of the funniest motherfuckers on the planet, and he's, like, halfway harassing this waitress. He's got his iPhone out in front of him, and he's like, "Excuse me, miss. Excuse me. Like, can I help you?" He's like, "Do you have a phone book? We're trying to find our friend. Do you have a phone book?" Like, but he's, like, doing it sarcastic and, like, being a dope about it. It was fucking hilarious. And I'm just sitting there with a mouthful of food and beers, laughing my dick off. When Carrie hasn't shown up, he hasn't called us, nothing. So Beans starts getting worried. Like, we gotta find him. We gotta make sure he's okay. Gotta make sure he's fine. Gotta find him. So I'm like, all right. So he just goes outside and just starts calling around town to different establishments and shit, trying to find out where the fuck he is. And finally, we pay her. Matt ended up picking up the tab because he's like that. He's very generous when he goes out, which is fucking great. Go outside, and Beans is like, "I think I found him. I think I found out where he is." And we're like, "Where the fuck is he?" He's like, I think he's at the hospital.
Oh shit.
What? Fucking serious? Calls the hospital back. Describes him. Yeah, somebody like that came in a couple hours ago with a back concussion. Or like, he's fucking concussed. Are you serious? And we're just like, Joe's just like, I agree with him. I was just like, well, we know where he's at. He's not going anywhere. He's not in jail. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's party. Bean's like, no, we gotta go get him. Gotta go get him from the hospital. We're like, fuck that. It's probably his own dumbass fault he's ended up in the fucking hospital to begin with. All pile into fucking Beans' van. He's got this like white creeper van. Like the, here, get some candy, I'm gonna rape you van. Go over to the fucking hospital. And me and Joe, we're sitting outside with our backs to the gate. We should have been picked up by the cops. I don't know how the fuck we didn't get arrested for being drunk in public. We were fucking sloshed. And there's like, I remember at one point there's people walking over us. We were like laying on the sidewalk with our back to the gate, passed out on the fucking sidewalk. I remember this dude and his girlfriend were like holding hands and like stepped over us and looked back. And I looked at him like, oh, hey. He's just like, let's keep going, honey. Oh, fuck. So we're sitting there for at least an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. And Beans and Matt go inside. They're checking on Carrie. They find out he's in the fucking hospital. And Matt comes out. He just comes walking out all matter-of-factly. He looks at it. He's like, yeah, he's concussed. Like, really fucking bad. Like, doesn't know where he's at. He's fucking, like, all hunched over the bed, like, murmuring and shit. He said at one point he had his piss jug and, like, looked at the nurse, started shaking it at her, like, like, telling us that, and we're like, yeah, Beans, he's in there. He's trying to let him, hand him over, and we'll take care of him for the night and shit. And we're just like, I'm like,
Sounds
look,
like you guys have your hands full.
I'm like,
already.
look, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, 12:30, 1 a.m. I know, like, the last bar closes at 3. I'm like, oh, still got time. Still got time. Matt goes in for about another 45 minutes to an hour. And that time goes by. Gets a call. Joe gets a call, and it's Matt. He's like, we're coming out now. Beans is going to get his van, and he's going to pull around and take us back to the hotel. They bring this motherfucker out, and it's like Dead Man Walking. Fucking Frankenstein, dude. Just like, they got, Beans has got one arm over his shoulder. Matt's got the other arm over his shoulder, and he's like taking baby steps. This dude is fucking concussed. Done. Fucked up. And me and Joe just look at each other like, we got beer at the hotel, right? I'm like, yeah, we still got beer at the hotel. He's like, good. We're going to fucking need it. Fucking pile into the fucking van. Beans basically just dumped us out in the front of the hotel. Matt's completely sober at this point. Me and Joe are still fucking half-cocked, and Carrie is fucking destroyed. We get up to the fucking hotel room, and we fucking sit there. We party a little bit more. 3 in the morning, fucking, we're just like, all right. It's like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. We're like, all right, fuck it. Let's go to bed. Deal with this shit in the morning. Joe and Matt had the beds. They had the beds. It was a 2, I think, queen size or king size, queen size beds. There was a little walkway, and then an ottoman that I had, like a fucking layout chair, and Carrie had the floor. Okay, one of the reasons, first of all, that we couldn't find him, the only thing that he took with him was his phone and his ID. He didn't take any fucking, and some cash. Lost his cash, lost his ID. And I think he lost his fucking phone too. That part may not be true. Once again, been a while. So, like, finally we go to sleep, and I'm passed out Like it was like in a movie, like someone like fades out and then immediately like shakes awake, but they're awake.
Huge erection.
Basically. Well, all I hear is like pitter patter, like raining. I'm like, that's fucking raining. I hear pitter patter. Then I hear, "Hey, stupid! What the fuck are you doing?" And I shoot up and I look over, and Carrie is fucking like on his knees, laid out like Jesus with his dick out, fucking just fucking fire hosing his fucking blanket, fire hosing his pillow, fucking just pissing all over himself. And Matt just looks up and he's like, he pops up, looks at him and goes, "Ah! Ah!" And he's fucking dying, like, because he squeals like a schoolgirl when he starts laughing hard. And Joe's like grabs the phone, he's like ripping out of the wall, and they're like throwing it, he's like, "Fuck this," and grabs his pillow and throws it at the gate, and Carrie's just like, "What? What's the matter?" And like, "You fucking pissed all over your fucking shit, you dumb motherfucker! Fuck you, you fucking idiot! Motherfucking dumbass!" And Carrie's just like, "Oh, okay." And then, splat! Right into a fucking face full of piss pillow, dude. And I'm just like, I looked up, I'm like, "Ah! Ah!"
Man falls into his own piss pile.
Dude, we wake up the next fucking morning, and we're just all like groggy-eyed and shit. And I just remember Joe looks at the phone, and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna have to pay for that, but fuck it." Wakes up and fucking kicks Carrie. He's like, "You got 3 hours to find your shit. We're gonna fucking leave your ass." So one thing leads to another. He fucking regains consciousness or whatever he thinks might have happened. He's like, "Oh, we're at the show, and then next thing I know, I'm waking up." Like, do you fucking remember where you're at? You remember
Doesn't
those?
remember any of that.
We had to get your ass from the fucking hospital.
What the fuck did he drink?
Well, there's some theories that went around about what may or may not have happened, and then I'll say that off the record. But so we get back, and he like we went out to breakfast, and he's just like sitting there like slumped over his fucking his food, like not even eating, like putting it in his mouth, just like getting it to his fucking mouth, and then like with his lips just like getting the rest off the fork, and just all slumped out. And we dropped him off. When we got back, we drove back the next day. We dropped him off, and we were just like, and I looked at Matt and Joe. I'm like, I'm just glad it wasn't me. So there's not really like a good like punchline or way to fade out from that, but that's
I think the punchline of that story was
the piss pillow.
Sheets and
But no, that's the
into it.
that's the epic Columbus piss story that we all like to tell from time to time.
That's a good one.
No, I'm not fucking nullifying any names. So with that, folks, appreciate you sticking with us. Sorry we slogged through this one, but we made it. So I'd like to thank our special guest, Clark McGlark, for stopping by and ruining everything. Hopefully next time we'll bring beer, you dick. Once again, on behalf of...
Next time I will bring beer.
Yes. Once again,
Moon Power Podcast.
Nate Fitch.
It's actually gonna be a bunch of cans full of piss.
Sweet. Nate Fitch, Technical Advisor, your host, Ian Hubbard. Till next time, folks, don't sleep in your piss. Over and out.
Unless, I mean, you want to. You know, free country. I use that phrase too often. Anyway.
Apparently, you use it in public while you're pissing on your car.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best place to do it.
It's the only explanation you need.
The only time I've ever pissed in public was when I was like middle school.
Oh, I pissed in pup.
It was a Kalahari
there's
golf
Still
course.
rolling.
Still rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck. Well, in that case, fuck. I'll tell you another one.
We gotta get going.
Yeah.
All right, I pissed on a chick's head from a 3-story building in Put-in Bay. But other than that,
That's a good note to end on.
That's a good closer.
all right, we'll close on that, folks. Until next time, over and out. Nate, cut this shit off. I gotta go fucking bed.
You got it.